Hi, in this video I'm going to take you through a self as context exercise. It's going to be based around making contact with the observing self, and I'm going to give you some instructions on how to go out and do this. It's a very, very simple exercise, and it's really at the base of all self as context exercises, and it looks at noticing those things around you. So it starts off with an instruction of saying, notice X. Now, X refers to those things you can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, thoughts, memories, images, and so on. So we want to go out and notice those things that are around us. Now, that's purely a present moment instruction. It allows us to get in the here and the now, so we've got a stability of present moment experience. Then from there, we want to go out and introduce the observing self. And the way that we introduce the observing self is with the instruction of be aware that you are noticing. Now, what actually occurs here is at the beginning, we're purely noticing an object. We're noticing an experience. We're noticing a sensation. So what's actually occurring here is we're making contact with the present moment. In the next step, we're actually going out and taking notice of the perspective taking. Self as context is about flexible perspective taking. And we want to be able to move from our sensations in the here and the now, our experiences in the here and the now, the present moment, and step away and be able to become aware of the observing self, or that part of us that is noticing all the time. So that's the instruction. Be aware that you are noticing. That is a very quick example, a very quick tool to bring our clients into contact with the observing self. So self as context doesn't have to be this frightening big concept that we don't understand. It's actually going out, noticing something, and then being aware that we are noticing. So I'm going to take you through an exercise. And I'll ask you just to get comfortable. If you're standing, just make yourself comfortable, stretch, so on. If you're sitting down, just settle in. If you're lying down, don't go to sleep. And I'll just ask you to just notice what you can hear. Be aware that you are noticing. Notice what the mind might be saying. And be aware that you are noticing. Notice what you can feel. And be aware that you are noticing. Notice any thoughts that come up. And be aware that you are noticing. Notice what you can smell or taste. And be aware that you are noticing. Be aware of any thoughts that are showing up, if any. And be aware that you are noticing. Notice your feet in your shoes. And be aware that you are noticing. Be aware of the temperature of your hands. And be aware that you are noticing. What's that part that notices? It can notice everything. It notices what you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. That's the observing self. And I'll just ask you to come back from noticing and being aware that you're noticing. And just reflect on how that experience was for you. It was 2 very simple instructions. Notice X and be aware that you're noticing. What's important that we do to filter in between the instructions is to notice the mind. It's quite useful to say, notice what the mind is saying, if anything. And then notice what you can hear or notice what you can smell and taste. And then come back to notice any thoughts that are showing up. Notice what the mind might be saying. Notice any commentary you can hear. So we want to come in and filter that somewhat. And the be aware that you're noticing, you would probably find that there is a part that we can go out and experience, that there's a part of me that is able to observe, that's able to be aware of, that's able to witness the act of what I'm doing, which is listening or feeling and so on. So very, very, very simple instructions. The point is to layer it over and over and over again so that clients can go out and notice that on a number of occasions. They can experience this level of awareness. They can experience themselves noticing that they're noticing or being aware that they are noticing. So that's just a very quick introductory exercise that you can do with clients, and it can happen very, very quickly. So start to use that if your clients are struggling to understand what self as context is, and you can get them to experience a little bit of the observing self. Good luck and see you next time.